Imagine this. You're scrolling through your feed, heart racing from the latest injustice headline, when suddenly, bam, a cop's sinister plot unravels in the most explosive way possible. What if the system you distrust turns on its own corrupt guardians? Dive into this gripping tale of power, prejudice, and payback that'll have you questioning every authority figure. If you're in the USA or UK, where stories of racial profiling hit too close to home, this one's for you. Hit that subscribe button now for more edge-of-your-seat narratives that expose the raw truth, and turn on notifications so you never miss a twist that could change how you see the world. In the bustling chaos of JFK International Airport, Terminal 4 hummed with a symphony of hurried footsteps, rolling suitcases, and muffled announcements echoing through the vast halls. Officer Marcus Hale, a burly NYPD veteran with a badge that gleamed under the fluorescent lights and a smirk that had years of unchecked power, scanned the check-in lines like a predator eyeing prey. His shift was routine, patrol, profile, plan if necessary. Today, his target was a young black woman in her mid-30s, dressed sharply in a tailored blazer and slacks, her carry-on bag slung over her shoulder as she typed furiously on her phone. She looked out of place among the tourists and business travelers, too composed, too confident. Marcus had seen her type before, or so he thought. "Another one try act above it all," he muttered under his breath, his hand instinctively brushing the small baggie of cocaine tucked in his utility belt. It was his insurance policy, a little evidence for when quotas needed filling or when his superiors demanded results. The war on drugs was a game, and Marcus played to win, especially against those who didn't fit his narrow view of innocence. As a woman, whose name was Dr. Lara Thompson, but Marcus didn't know that yet, approached the check-in counter for a flight to Washington, D.C. He made his move, with practiced sleight of hand, honed from years on the beat in Harlem and Brooklyn where such tactics were whispered but never admitted. He bumped into her, accidentally, amid the crowd. "Sorry, ma'am," he grumbled, his fingers dipping into her open bag for just a second, depositing the baggie deep inside a side pocket. She glanced up, her dark eyes narrowing slightly, but she said nothing, attributing it to the airport frenzy. Marcus stepped back, heart pounding with the thrill of the plant. He'd call in the K-9 unit next, watch it get pulled aside, searched, and humiliated. It was all too easy. Little did he know, Ilara wasn't just any traveler. She was a newly appointed director of the FBI, en route to a classified briefing at the White House. Her appointment had been kept under wraps for security reasons, announced only to a select few in the intelligence community. But Marcus, isolated in his bubble of Blue Line loyalty, had no clue. He radioed his partner, Officer Lena Vasquez, a rookie eager to prove herself. "Got one. Black female, mid-30s, red carry-on. Send the dogs over." Ilara checked in smoothly, her first-class ticket scanned without issue. She was no stranger to airports. Her career had taken her from undercover ops in Chicago's streets to high-stakes negotiations in international hotspots. But today, she felt an unusual prick of unease. As she moved toward security, a German shepherd and its handler approached, the dog sniffing eagerly. Marcus watched from afar, a smug grin creeping across his face. The dog alerted, barking sharply at her bag. "Ma'am, step aside," the TSA agent said firmly. Ilara's expression remained calm, but inside, her mind raced. She knew protocol. This wasn't random. As they unzipped her bag and pulled out the baggie, gasps rippled through the nearby crowd. "That's not mine," she stated evenly, her voice carrying the authority of someone used to command. Marcus sauntered over, feigning surprise. "Looks like we've got a situation here. You're under arrest for possession with intent to distribute." He cuffed her wrists, the cold metal biting into her skin, and led her to a holding room, ignoring her protests. In the dimly lit interrogation room, Marcus leaned against the wall, arms crossed, while Lena paced nervously. "Who are you, really?" Marcus demanded, his tone laced with accusation. Ilara sat straight-backed, her gaze piercing. "I suggest you check my ID properly and call your superiors." He laughed, tossing her wallet onto the table. "Dr. Lara Thompson? Sounds fake. What, you a professor or something, trying to smuggle blow to fund your research?" He air-quoted the word, his prejudice dripping like venom. But as Lena flipped through her phone, double-checking the database, her face paled. Marcus, this can't be right. She showed him the screen. A secure FBI alert confirming Alara's identity. Marcus's smirk faded. What the hell? He grabbed the phone, his eyes widening. The woman he just framed was the FBI director, the first black woman to hold the position. Sworn in just weeks ago in a ceremony shrouded in secrecy due to rising threats from domestic extremists. Panic set in. Marcus's mind flashed back to a string of similar plants. Dozens over the years, mostly on minorities to pad his arrest stats. If this blew up, it could unravel everything. This is a mistake, he stammered, uncuffing her hastily. Must be a mix-up with the dog. Alara stood, rubbing her wrists, her voice ice cold. No mistake, Officer Hale. I felt the bump, and I know exactly what you did. She pulled out her phone, dialing a number that connected straight to the Attorney General. Within minutes, federal agents swarmed the airport, sealing off the area. Marcus was detained, his badge stripped. As CCTV footage was reviewed, it showed the plant clear as day, his hand dipping into the bag. But the twist deepened. Alara hadn't been traveling alone. Her phone typing a check-in. She was live streaming subtly to a secure FBI channel, testing airport security protocols as part of a nationwide sting operation. Marcus wasn't the only target. He was the unwitting star of a broader investigation into corrupt cops planting evidence. As news broke, the media frenzy erupted. Headlines screamed across USA Today and The Guardian. NYPD officer frames FBI director in shocking airport bust. Protests ignited in New York, London echoing with solidarity marches against racial injustice. Marcus, now in custody, faced not just internal affairs but federal charges. But here's where the plot twisted further. Marcus wasn't acting alone. Digging into his records, Alara's team uncovered ties to a rogue network within the NYPD, funded by a white supremacist group aiming to discredit minority leaders. The baggie? Traced back to a cartel, but planted via a chain that led to a high-ranking sergeant who'd been tipping off drug lords in exchange for kickbacks. Alara, drawing on her undercover past, went deep, posing as a disgraced agent. She infiltrated a meeting in a dingy Brooklyn warehouse, wired up and ready. The warehouse reeked of stale smoke and desperation. Marcus's former colleagues gathered, unaware of the noose tightening. That bitch ruined everything, one growled, referring to Alara. She stepped from the shadows, her disguise flawless, a hooded figure with a fabricated backstory. I can help fix it, she said, her voice altered. They bought it, spilling secrets, plans to frame more officials, even assassinate if needed. But as she gathered evidence, a betrayer in her own ranks emerged. Agent Royce, her deputy, jealous of her rapid rise, had leaked her travel plans to the network, hoping to sabotage her. The twist hit like a gut punch, internal betrayal from someone she trusted. In a high-octane chase through the subway tunnels, Alara confronted Royce, dodging trains and gunfire. Why? She demanded, pinning him against the wall. You were next in line, he spat, revealing his resentment over her appointment. Fueled by his own hidden biases, backup arrived, arresting him and dismantling the network. Marcus, facing life in prison, turned state's evidence, exposing even more corruption. Alara emerged stronger, implementing reforms, body cams with AI detection for plants, diversity training revamped, and a task force against internal threats. But the story didn't end there. Months later, as Alara testified before Congress, a final twist unfolded. The supremacist group wasn't just local, it had international ties, linking to UK far-right cells plotting similar disruptions. A joint FBI MI5 operation raided a London safe house, uncovering plans to target black British MPs. Alara flew to London, coordinating with allies, her resolve unbreakable. In a tense standoff at Heathrow, mirroring her own ordeal, she personally arrested the ringleader, a former Met officer turned radical. Back in D.C., Alara reflected in her office, overlooking the Potomac. The experience had scarred her, but it fueled change. Protests evolved into policy wins. Federal oversight on police practices, grants for community policing. Marcus rotted in prison, his life a cautionary tale. Royce faced treason charges. And Alara? She became a symbol of resilience, her story inspiring books, films, and a generation fighting injustice. Yet, whispers lingered. Was there more? A encrypted file on Royce's drive hinted at a deeper conspiracy. Politicians involved, pulling strings from the shadows. Alara vowed to uncover it, knowing the fight was far from over. In the USA and UK, her tale sparked dialogues on race, power, and accountability, proving one woman's stand could topple empires of corruption. The airport incident replayed in her mind, a reminder of vulnerability. But from victim to victor, Alara Thompson rewrote the narrative. As she boarded her next flight, bag in hand, she smiled, knowing no one would dare plan anything now.